Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's time to grab a coffee or maybe a hot cup of tea as we explore this topic. Today's hard truth is determination becomes obsession and then it becomes all that matters. And that is by Jeremy Irvine. I chose this quote because I want to make sure that we understand what stalking really means from a psychological perspective and also from a social perspective. We can't go from ground zero to 100 miles per hour instantly in a thing. There has to be some progression. And in this quote, Jeremy is saying that progression begins with determination, it escalates to obsession, and then it escalates to something that's just all consuming. All right? And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. Here you can see some of the most common things that occur when someone is being stalked. And I'll provide a link to this list in the description box. But right now, I want to show you two very short clips pertaining to actual stalking victims.
Anything to get her attention.
Hello? I mean, we're not talking even 10 phone calls a day. We're talking, 50, 100 phone calls in a day. Just the phone constantly ringing. And if I wouldn't pick up, then he would bang on the door just all hours, every day.
When did it occur to you? This isn't just weird. This just isn't intense. I have a stalker.
It kind of clicked one day. My daughter and I were eating at a Wendy's. And he just walks up and he goes, wow. He goes, we have so much in common. And I'm thinking, oh my God. Because before that, he would show up at the store, Blockbuster, just everywhere.
And it hits you.
Hits me hard.
Now this is stalking. You have to keep calling the police on a stalker. You have to get restraining orders on a stalker. They don't care who knows they're terrorizing somebody. The victim running to the police or to get help, that's part of the thrill. Okay? In this situation, it escalated to Wasim killing Carmen Smith and stabbing her son 18 times. And he was 5 years old at the time.
It started with a compliment.
He told me that I was his sunshine.
But the attention soon turned. Terrifying.
Hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of messages.
The words he used, the pictures he drew were scary. They were of a sexual nature. They were violent.
Creepy thoughts like, I just want to feel your pulse.
Sexual scenarios involving others. Kidnap you and me. Rape you. You would die quickly.
And proclamations of love. You are the one I love the most, forever and ever.
This is Emma Furlong's story that started in her senior year of high school. This ninja spent 8 years terrorizing this girl. Okay, stalking is not a handful of covert operations. It's an ongoing, escalating, never-ending terrorism. Okay, it's some women dating a stalker right now, and everybody just call him a controlling boyfriend, when really they need to just drop everything right now, go get some mace, and get a restraining order. Okay, let's have a look at where these stalker claims came from in the Idaho Ford case. Here, circled in the red on the left in the affidavit, it says, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from June 22nd to the present, the time period authorized by the court. The records for the phone show cellular resources providing coverage at least 12 occasions prior to November 13, 2022. All of these occasions, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours of their respective days. Now, first of all, 12 occasions of him going to Moscow, that's not going to get it as far as saying somebody is a stalker. Okay, we just saw what a stalker is. going to a college town, which pretty much everyone does that lives in the general vicinity of that town, and him passing in the general vicinity of a house, that's not going to get it. All right? Because a stalker is not, you don't have to say, I believe he was stalking, or I believe I have a stalker. When you have a stalker, you know you have a stalker. Everybody knows. Okay? He or she doesn't care that other people know. It's not something you have to guess at or find a handful of incidents to define it as that. Okay? Look over here on the right. This is a statement from one of the Washington University students in an Insider article. It says in the red, so when Aaron Dash, a 28-year-old engineering student at Washington State University, got a new downstairs neighbor in his Steptoe Village apartment complex in August, he understood why the stranger was eager to make friends. So Kohberger didn't move into his apartment until August. He wasn't even in Washington in June and July. In the affidavit, the court granted them his records from June until the 13th. He didn't even live in Washington in June and July. According to his roommate in this article, he didn't move into his apartment until August. And so any pings on that phone in June and July are going to be useless. They're just going to prove that they're inaccurate. The rest of them are inaccurate. And the 12 occasions that they claim they found him to be in Moscow, they better be after August, all of them. Okay? And even if they are, even if he went to Moscow every day, so what? Okay? I could go to Walmart 12 times in 1 month. Does that mean I'm stalking somebody in Walmart? No, that just means I love Walmart. I love to shop at Walmart. I'm going to find me a reason to go to Walmart and shop. Okay? So let's just calm down on this stalker theory and just make some intelligent speculation. The moral of this story is the seventh law of karma, which is that you cannot think of two things at the same time. It takes time to stalk somebody, and Brian Kohberger didn't have time. He was a PhD student and a teaching assistant. And according to the police, he was riding around Moscow at least 12 times. If all he did was run around Moscow 12 times, then he is the laziest stalker that I have ever witnessed in my time of investigating true crime.